So hello gamers and welcome to the finale episode of my ranking series. We started with assault rifles, then we did battle rifles, shotguns, PWs. I recommend if you want to see how I rank these guns that you go to assault rifles first. Yeah, to end this series off, let's rank every single other category gun in Phantom Forces. Our first gun is of course the Super Shorty. Now the Super Shorty, originally called the Serbu shotgun, is a pretty strange gun. It's gotten a lot of changes. Originally it had a 4 pellet kill and I think it did 28 damage. Now it does 24, which means it takes 5 pellets to kill. However, it reloads faster and fires a little bit faster. It has a default capacity of 2 and has a +1 to get 3 rounds, and I do definitely recommend that you get the extended tube to get up to 6. So literally double the capacity. I really recommend this because if you don't have extended tube, you're gonna run out of bullets pretty fast. But I'm gonna be real, even though this doesn't do great damage for a shotgun, the spread is pretty consistent, so you will be one-tapping pretty often in close range. However, it does awful damage at range, and the spread is overall not great. So basically what you're gonna get is a very consistent one-tap in close range to basically anywhere on the body if you're pretty good, and really awful range performance, which is really cool because it's a pocket shotgun. You want a close range one-tap, but you don't want an all-range one-tap, you know? So it feels overall really good, and I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 5. It's not top tier, it's not the best secondary in the entire game, but for a shotgun and for a pocket shotgun, this is one of the best ones. I'd still say for overall secondary use, of course, you know, I fired 3 shots there. If I was using the XIX and hit 2 torsos, would have killed from that range. So clearly this isn't the best all-range gun, but for what it does, which is just close range one tap, it does it extremely well. It feels very balanced, very consistent, and just like, yeah, it does what it should, and it doesn't do what it shouldn't. But next up, we have the SFG-50, a sawed-off version of the BFG-50. It does the same close range damage at 100, meaning it can one-shot to the limbs to 50 studs. It can also one-shot to the torso to only 210 studs, which is very, very far. However, the BFG torso kill range is infinite. So that was 144, which is within torso kill range, but it won't be all ranges. It also has quite a bit more drop than the BFG at 2000 velocity instead of 3000, which is quite a big difference. And it has choke, which means it won't always shoot in the same spot, but the choke is not awful. The main thing here is probably just the bullet drop being lower than a lot of other sniper rifles in the game. So if you can't account for drop, it might be kind of annoying. Plus at extreme ranges, you're not going to one-shot torso, so a headshot is necessary to get a one-tap. So I'm not going to say this is the best gun in the entire game or anything, but I would say for what it does, it is a very nice pocket secondary. It only has 1 bullet though, and I usually use it for close range, and at that point the GB50 is kind of better when you think about it because GB50 has more drop but does one-shot headshot at any range. One-shot headshot has a pretty decent torso kill range of like 80 studs, and this has 210, but still, if you're hitting your heads and stuff, the GB50 is just better. This is pretty nice. It has some upsides, but I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. If you're pretty good at just hitting your torso shots and you want a pocket sniper rifle because your main gun is, I don't know, like an MP5K, this is not a bad option. As you can see, it's not going to one-tap at any range, and it's probably not going to hit too many shots at any range, so I don't really recommend it 100%. So it doesn't do everything a secondary should do, and it's probably one of the worst secondaries for the secondary pull it out in the middle of a fight roll, and I will be giving it a 3 out of 5. I really like the gun. I have like 1,000 kills on it because I love quick scoping with it. It's really fun to pull out in close range because you can one-tap to the limbs. Pretty nice overall gun, feels pretty balanced. I don't think it's really broken at all, and honestly, I probably would say it's better than the BFG because, you know, it's a secondary. Whoa, that was some bloom, dude. What was that bloom? The BFG because it was right on his head. The choke just made me miss. That's a problem with it. Not a huge problem. I'm not used to doing that. I'm pretty sure I was looking directly at his head. It's a pretty nice option. Just remember that you will never be able to use your secondary unless you're hitting 1 close range shot, which is not really going to happen too often. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Pretty good. Next up, we have the M79 Thumper, which has so many ammo types, most of which aren't really that great. Exotic slugs is pretty cool. It can one-tap to the limbs and has 2 pellets, which is pretty cool, and a faster reload time than the SFG. It also has sponge, which can one-tap limb to 100 studs, twice the range of the limb kill range of the SFG. However, it has awful drop and does lose its torso kill range after 100 studs as well. You probably shouldn't use any ammo types except maybe exotic slugs on this gun, and the other ammo types like buckshot and stuff are just kind of trash. This can kill with 3 pellets and has 10, which is pretty cool. It has extra pellets and really good pellet damage. Keep in mind the Super Shorty has 8 pellets and requires 5, half of its pellets, and this requires about 30%, which is pretty nice. It also has a bit better spread, but of course it only has 1 bullet. So I'm gonna be real, this is is a pretty trash gun. It's really fun to use, but I don't really recommend it over something like, for example, the GB50. Exotic Slugs is like cool and all, but because of spread and everything, the GB50 is kind of just better. It's another one-tap gun that's just, it's fine. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It is pretty fun to use for close range, and with short barrel and remove stock, it not only reloads really fast, but does have very good walk speed, but the spread is quite a bit worse. As you can see, I hit for 50 there, which is pretty nice. Although I would say the SFG kind of does it better for me, because the SFG, I can use that in close range. This does reload faster and everything, but the SFG would have one-tap there, so I don't know. Really about what you want, so I will be giving it a 3 out of 5 tied with the SFG. The Serbu is definitely a better gun because this is literally reload after every single shot versus the Serbu, which has up to 6 rounds, but can also one-tap in close range. Next up, though, we have the Coil gun. The E-gun, I think I gave it 2 out of 5, maybe a 3, but I think it was a 2. The reason I gave that one a 2 is because of this gun's existence. This is not only, in my opinion, better because some of the ammo types allow it to one burst to the head. It also reloads faster than the E-gun. The only problem is the reserve ammo, but I'm gonna be completely real. Why would you ever use the E-gun over the Coil gun? And the reason I'm saying that is because the E-gun is okay in some ways, but this does more damage and is also a secondary. That's the biggest thing. Like, E-gun could be better in most ways, but this is a secondary weapon, so it doesn't really matter because this does fit a secondary role. You can pull it out in a fight, maybe finish a person off, and actually do pretty decent against most players versus the E-gun, which is just worse. Like, the E-gun is just bad. It's not the best secondary in the game, but I feel like it holds its own, and with 25 rounds, you can actually, you know, kill some people. So I will be giving this one a 4 out of 5, which is kind of crazy considering I gave the E-gun a 2 out of 5, but this actually kind of eviscerates in close range, and the fact that it's a secondary and reloads faster is just better. Why would you ever use the E-gun? But next up, we have the sawed-off shotgun. Sawed-off shotgun is pretty nice because it not only has 2 bullets, it also does really good damage, has a burst, which is pretty cool to fire both, and it has a pretty decent reload time. Here's the thing about it. The spread is still awful, and the min damage is really bad, and to really get a pretty effective one-tap because of the spread, you kind of got to fire both shots at once. You can use it not on burst, but I just don't really recommend it. I use the Stevens and this on burst because it just feels like something you should use on burst, to be honest, and the one-tap range is just not great on semi-auto anyway. The thumper kind of has it better in that regard, and there's also the fact that on burst it still only has 1 bullet, so what's the point of using this? There is the fact that you have more damage and more pellets than other shotguns, but it just doesn't feel that effective for one-taps. I'd say it's the worst other gun in the game, and it does have some redeeming stuff, so I'm not going to give it a 1 out of 5, but I will be giving this one a 2 out of 5. They have tried to rework this many times to make it better, and I think they have succeeded. It does feel a little bit better for close range because it does more damage now, and it has a faster reload time, which does really help as well, but it's still not good. I'm not gonna lie, it's just not that great. I don't really recommend you use this. If you like it, use it, but it's a 2 out of 5. But next up, we have the Saiga 12U. Now, the Saiga 12U is kind of just like, you like the Serbu shotgun, now make it semi-automatic. It does more damage than the Serbu, and it still has a default capacity of 2 to 3, and an extended magazine for 5 with a +1, so 6. It doesn't have, I think, as good spread as the Serbu, and it might require follow-up shots, but it has 350 RPM, so that's not really a problem. I'm gonna be real, if you want a other shotgun gun or overall close range use, the Serbu is just worse. This is just a better version of the Serbu. There are reasons to use the Serbu. It can single load shells for a little bit of a faster reload time, and it does have a slightly better spread, but requires more pellets, so it doesn't really matter. This just hits follow-up shots really easily, and I'm gonna be real, it is simply a better gun. Here's the thing, it's not for long range, it's for really close range like this, and when it's in very close range, it is the best secondary shotgun in the entire game. The reason for that is because 1858 snake shot kind of sucks now, and Serbu shotgun is pretty good, but this is just better. So I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5. If you want a secondary shotgun, make sure to slap on the extended magazine, and also this does have a ton of ammo types that make it pretty cool. It has 50 BMG, which is awful. Don't use it. It only has 1 bullet because the gun literally explodes when you shoot it. It has Lancaster ammo, which has an awful headshot kill range and shoots really slow. Don't use this at all. It has a battle rifle conversion, a full auto conversion, slugs, 7.62, rubber pellets, 9mm birdshot, 223 Remington. It has a ton. These ammo types are basically miniature assault rifle conversions, and they're pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. If you want a weird machine pistol with very primary stats, very tiny magazine, of course, but if you want basically a primary secondary, this gun has some pretty decent options. I'm not gonna lie. Next up, though, we have the Obrez, which, wow, that was some good drop control. As you can see, basically a sawed-off version of the Mosin. It does okay body damage. It's a 2-hit kill torso at range, 3-hit kill limb at range, and 2-hit kill limb up close. So it's gonna be like a 2 to a 3 shot to the body, to be honest. However, it is actually able to 1-hit kill to the head at any range, and also has more RPM than the Mosin Nagant. And I don't know why I keep spawning here, because clearly there's enemies. Thank you, game, for spawning me where there aren't enemies everywhere. It does have pretty serious drop, but if you can control that and you got long barrel on, it's not bad at all. It also doesn't have choke, which means it won't have random spread. Yes, it has a lot more drop than the SFG, but if you count for the drop, it will always land in the same spot, which is pretty cool. And it fires a lot faster. Overall, this is just a better version, if you're good, of the SFG. If you can't hit follow-up shots or actually account for drop and get headshots at range, I don't recommend this gun at all. However, if you can, it's a very, very good gun. So I will be giving this one a 5 out of 5. It's really bad for Metro, but of the secondaries, of course, it's going to be the best sniper rifle secondary. Nothing else really rivals it, except maybe the GB50 is really good for sniping as well. This does have a shotgun conversion, which is very, very bad, as well as 8mm, which does give it a slight torso kill range, but really, really bad damage at range and awful drop, so I don't really recommend it. It also has an extended mag for 10 bullets, but I don't really use it because really bad handling. But finally, we have the Sass 358. Now, the Sass is really bad. Also, we got tag run on this map, which is really not a good idea because you know what that means. There's going to be sweats in here. Basically, this is a gun that can't one-shot to the torso. It only has one bullet and it reloads really, really slow. It does one-shot headshot at all ranges and does pretty good body damage for long range, but like I said, it can't one-shot to the torso. Then you're like, well, it has that conversion that gives it a torso kill. Well, here's the thing. It just is a slower version of the GB50 that can't headshot kill all ranges with that conversion. So what's the point of this? Nothing. It's just bad. Don't use it. It does one-shot kill head all ranges, which is not too bad, but like there's nothing here that's actually special about it at all. It doesn't do anything that the GB50 doesn't do, but better. I think the GB50 even has a better torso kill range and a headshot kill all ranges. So yeah, there's really no reason to use this. If you hit your headshots, it's not awful, but I'm going to give this one easily a 1 out of 5. In my opinion, this is the most annoying and just not good in any way gun in the entire game. Don't use it. It's just bad, but it is kind of funny as a meme. So if you want to, use it, but I just don't recommend it if you want to do good. You know what I'm saying? They might have fixed the spawns, to be honest, because I don't see anybody spawn trapping over here. Okay, there's a guy there. Wait, did they actually fix the spawns? Oh, frick. No, they didn't. No, they didn't fix the spawns. We'll just end this with a montage of me killing a ton of people. Anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, that ends our ranking series. New series coming very, very soon that you'll probably also enjoy. So make sure to like the video, and if you haven't, make sure to subscribe and whatever, turn on notifications because my Discord bot does not always ping immediately. So if you want to get early on and comment first on the video or whatever you guys do, then make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Ooh. Peace.